So let's start by talking about what role video games have opened up for you to go beyond the scope of a film like Inside Out.
For me personally, I love the idea that you can actually expand the adventure. You can go on further exploration. The things that we can't do in an hour-and-a-half movie. We faced that a lot in making Inside Out. The concept that Pete Docter had, so vast. We actually had so much more material that we could have shown you, but we only have to contain it for about an hour and a half. So there's a lot we couldn't show you, but the thing about a video game, it's a continuous tone adventure. All the stuff, the things that you can do here are things that we couldn't explore in a movie.
So what are some examples, for example, of this being a sequel to the actual movie and ideas that are in this game that you couldn't get to in the film?
Well, one of the things that we did was Pete Docter is a musician, and he grew up with a very musical family, and I play guitar and ukulele. We were thinking, it's like, well, Riley should be able to play music, and we created this land called music that they kind of passed through. They were kind of on the rails, and they kind of run out of steam. And they found themselves like, oh, in the middle of this area that as soon as somebody talks, it doesn't come out as words, it comes as music. But the thing is that it doesn't come out as musical notes. The music is represented as like objects. They become solid things, and they become impediments. And when they walk, it has sound effects. So it becomes interesting and yet dangerous at the same time. It's like, uh-oh. So it's an obstacle course all of a sudden. It was so fun, but we couldn't put it in a movie.
So now it's in the video game.
It's in the Infinity game.
What are your thoughts about the toy box aspect of Infinity and having these characters playable with Star Wars and with all these other Disney and Pixar characters?
That actually just makes it all the more exciting. All your favorite characters all in one box. I mean, you don't even have to wait. You can play with all of them. I don't know. I don't think there's a downside to any of it.
When it comes to video games, can you give us a sense of how popular they are amongst Pixar employees that are working on the movies?
Well, if you visit Pixar, we have a lot of screens, of course, on our desk. But we also have a lot of common areas with giant screens. We play movies there, and we play video games. A way of blowing off steam, as if you can take a walk, is to go outside, pull out your favorite console and games, and play. With anybody in Pixar, just like, who's playing whatever, kind of like, okay, here we go, for about half an hour, and then you go back to work. It's part of our lives.
And is Disney Infinity one of those games you guys have?
Yeah, we have them. If you visit any one office at Pixar, we have a conglomeration of games. Infinity is one of them.
What are your thoughts about that? Because it's more than just a game, it's a platform for multiple different characters and games.
Well, that's what I mentioned earlier, is because there's so many different characters and so many ways to actually have an adventure, and you can mix and match them. It's kind of that game when you were a kid. What if Mr. Incredible could actually go play with Iron Man or whoever? It's like all of those things. That can happen now.
How do video games, do you feel, influence what you guys can do with movies, especially since they're both working within the computer graphics worlds?
Yeah. Well, a lot of us play video games. I myself, I love video games. One of the things that we do in storytelling is that we tell storytelling using cinematic language. We do cuts, transitions, close-ups and long shots. When you play video games, it's continuous tone. You can kind of stay in the moment and let the camera follow the characters. And every now and then, we have an opportunity to be able to do that. In Inside Out, we have one of the longest shots we've ever produced. It's a continuous shot, and featuring joy and all the other emotions. It is kind of not only inspired by video games, but musicals. A Vincent Minnelli number wherein you follow a character, interact with one character or another character with no cuts, and the blocking kind of provides you that two-shot, that single shot without cutting. So that's kind of the way that video games influence us.
That's the video game. Are they able to get inside of the heads at all? Because that's some of the funniest parts of the movie is when you get to go and see the different elements.
I know. I haven't played the game entirely, but I don't think we do that. But you're right. All the other heads that we go into inside the movie is hilarious. You know, those things are the things we brainstorm very early in the movie. What if we went inside a baby's head? What if we went inside a dog's head? What if we actually explored that we went inside a goldfish's head?
What was in there?
We went inside and there was the console, all the lights are blinking, but nobody there. We're just waiting uncomfortably. Nothing.
Yeah, I like the cat's head.
The cat's head was hilarious, right? The end. Cat's just pawing at the controls. And you're always wondering, it's like, why is that cat acting that way? That's why.